Oh, this is gold. This is pure, precious gold. So, people have been building up Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker as if it's going to be like the endgame, the Avengers Endgame of Star Wars. This movie is going to be huge. It's going to blow our minds. It's going to subvert our expectations, maybe, we're going to take a page out of Rian Johnson's book, because after all, The Last Jedi is a masterpiece, right? It's an absolute masterpiece. And anyone who hated that movie are just a bunch of basement-dwelling trolls, right? So now we're starting to get the mainstream media going, what? Star Wars Rise of Skywalker might not make as much money as everyone thinks? What? Oh, this is so good. This is hilarious to me. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say in this article here. This should be pretty juicy. December is fast approaching, and with it will come Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and also Cats. Don't forget, Cats also comes out December, the same weekend that Rise of Skywalker does as well. The 9th and final installment of the mainline series. However, excitement for the film is a little more tepid than its forerunners. But that can't have anything to do with the fact that Rian Johnson completely destroyed Star Wars with The Last Jedi, right? That can't have anything to do with it, right? There are a number of factors at play, but the most pertinent is possibly audience fatigue. Oh, we're going back to this excuse, huh? Already they're using the audience fatigue excuse. Really? They use this with Solo as well. Audience fatigue. You can't have another Star Wars movie coming out, whatever it was, like 6 months after The Last Jedi. That the audience is just gonna be fatigued. That's too much Star Wars. Are they seriously gonna use that excuse again? Really? This is like a year and a half after Solo. When The Force Awakens debuted, it was the start of an ambitious plan from Disney and Lucasfilm. They wanted to release one Star Wars movie a year, and though this was initially successful, up until The Last Jedi, with the J.J. Abrams directed 7th entry shattering box office records left and right, the writing was on the wall shortly after. The Last Jedi and Rogue One, while both incredibly successful, suffered from diminishing returns, with neither able to match the numbers that Force Awakens posted. Well, first of all, The Force Awakens, I wasn't expecting either of those movies to match Force Awakens numbers. I mean, I wasn't, because that movie was kind of the kind of return of the Star Wars franchise, right? I mean, that it was a big deal. So yeah, I wasn't expecting Last Jedi or Rogue One to meet the same box office numbers that Force Awakens was. And Rogue One makes more sense because Rogue One isn't really part of the Skywalker saga per se. So yeah, it makes sense that one would make less as well. What's more, the former quickly became the most divisive entry in the Star Wars canon. This kind of contentious narrative has now left many fans wary of future entries. Well, at least they're kind of acknowledging that, I guess. Of course, all of this led to the unmitigated flop that was Solo: A Star Wars Story. That movie was a letdown in nearly every category, from the box office to the perfunctory nature of the overall story. It also solidified the fact that the audiences were getting tired of traveling to that galaxy far, far away. People were tired of it. People were tired of Star Wars, right? That's the problem here. People are just fatigued. It's fatigue. Moreover, Rise of Skywalker has some serious competition in the form of Jumanji: The Next Level. Really? You see, if Star Wars was actually in a really good place right now, then they wouldn't be worried about Jumanji. Do you think that Avengers Endgame was worried about any movie that was coming out around it? No, it wasn't. People actually, usually when those big blockbuster movies come out, other studios try to give it a little bit of space, especially when it comes to movies like Star Wars and Avengers and stuff like that. I mean, if I remember correct, I can't remember what came out that in December when Force Awakens came out, but I'm pretty sure that pretty much everyone else was like, yeah, we're not even gonna drop anything during December. Like, this is obviously Star Wars month. Nothing's gonna, we're not gonna even try to compete with that. But now we have Rise of Skywalker coming out. We have Cats coming out the same weekend as Rise of Skywalker, and we have Jumanji coming out as well. Yeah, I don't think the studios are quite as scared of Star Wars as they used to be. That film will arguably be targeting the same audience in the previous iteration. 2017's Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was a runaway hit, and fans have been salivating for more ever since. Yeah, but if Star Wars was in a good place, people would be salivating for Star Wars even more. Scott Mendelson of Forbes has investigated this dilemma further as well, looking at the historical records and noting that threequels have a tendency to underperform in relation to their predecessors. The Star Wars conundrum is a little more unique than your average threequel, though, as Mendelson notes. And I actually covered this article that Mendelson did in another video. This was from a couple months ago. Jumanji: The Next Level plays huge not just as a crowd-pleasing sequel to a surprisingly good predecessor, but as the prime holiday destination for kids, family, and general audiences. Are you saying that that Star Wars isn't a prime holiday destination for kids, families, and general audiences? Star Wars should be the definitive prime holiday destination for kids, family, and general audiences. Because of Star Wars. But we're not at that point right now, are we? No, we're not. But you won't admit that. You won't admit that. It's not that Rise of Skywalker isn't a big movie, and it remains the biggest movie of the season, give or take Jumanji 3. But, like the last Hobbit sequel, which, for the record, earned $950 million worldwide, it's merely the biggest of several big and family-friendly holiday flicks in a crowded season. That's especially true overseas, where Star Wars mania isn't as big. Nonetheless, with all the audiences fully aware that this is the final chapter of the Skywalker saga before Disney tries doing Star Wars without the core characters and core Rebel versus Empire narrative, well, will it be treated like Avengers Endgame or Dark Phoenix? I love the fact that they are already trying to build these cushion excuses for why Rise of Skywalker will not be successful. They're already doing it. Scott Mendelson is doing it at Forbes. Now we got all these other mainstream media sites doing it as well. Everyone is preparing for this movie to not do very well in theaters. And honestly, the more I'm looking at it, the more I think that this movie will not do very well in theaters. The hype for this movie is pretty much dead, besides certain Star Wars communities out there. But the hype for this movie is nowhere near the level of hype that there was around Force Awakens. It doesn't even compare in the slightest to the hype for that movie. So I still think this movie's going to make $1 billion, but I think it's going to barely make $1 billion. That's where I'm at right now with it, and I guess we'll have to see. And you can just tell that they're just continuing to BS about this. They're just trying to prepare themselves for this movie to not do very well. And honestly, I mean, this could be partly Disney behind this as well. You know, being like, guys, we kind of need you to start writing some articles, kind of preparing for this movie to not do very well. All of that type of stuff. Who knows what's going on? But that is the type of stuff that I think is happening right now with Rise of Skywalker. And to me, it's hilarious. It's hilarious that they're doing this. And I think it just goes to show that this movie is not going to do very well. I don't think it's going to. I really don't. Anyway, let me know in the comments below, how well do you think Rise of Skywalker is going to do in theaters? I want to hear what your predictions are for that. So let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.